morning, and welcome to another episode of Did We Make Ourselves Clear? The podcast that clarifies the subject matters of love, life, and everything in between. I'm calling out to you guys to make sure that you like our YouTube channel. Definitely make sure that you hit those notifications so that you can keep up with what we got, and like us on our Facebook and Instagram.
That's right.
Today's topic is the hip hop revolution, and to introduce our guest today, I'm pleased to welcome back my cousin KP.
What up? What up? What up? Right on, River. Glad to be here. Back for this popping interview that we're about to do with my man, who's a member of Altered St8s and Plan-B. Lyfestile has been a force in the movement for social justice for many years, continuing this push both through his music and articles in Wartime and BoycottX.org publications. Welcome, my brother, Mr. Lyfestile.
Welcome.
What up?
What's up, man?
Yo, peace.
Lyfestyle in the building.
Everybody.
Peace to the guys, man. Peace, man.
Right on.
Welcome to the show.
Yo, peace,
Word is
peace,
born.
peace.
There we go. There we go.
I'm assuming we live right now, but I cannot hear
We live.
anything.
Oh,
Lord have mercy. Live. Yo. We back.
We back. Can you
Hello,
hear
hello.
us? Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear us?
Hold on. I still can't.
Okay.
I still can't hear anything.
All right. Check the chat. Check the chat.
Check. Check. Check.
We can hear you.
Can y'all hear
Can
me?
you hear us? Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Oh,
Can you hear?
We can hear you.
maybe I'll just read
Always
everybody's
them.
lips.
Oh wow.
You can't hear us at all?
I'm horrible at reading lips.
Oh man.
Oh, Lord.
Everything was going so smoothly earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Before the world could see us, everything was going great,
Exactly.
Now-
Exactly.
and now it's not.
Sorry. Hold on 1 second. Technical difficulty.
Give us 1 second.
All right.
Are
Can
we
you
back
hear
in the
us now?
visit?
Can you
Check,
hear us
check,
now?
check.
We hear him loud and
Wow,
clear, but
we
he can't hear
loud
us.
and clear.
And I don't hear myself either.
Yeah, I
Check.
don't hear me either.
Can you hear
I
me?
realize I don't.
Brother Lyfestyle. Hey, hip hop right, I feel good. Didn't know that we the type of people keep it hood.
Hello.
Check it out.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear.
Word is born.
Fantastic. Woohoo.
All right.
Not bad. Sorry about
We
the
got
technical
action.
difficulties, people.
Don't move, because you might mess us up.
Well,
Welcome to the show, Brother
welcome
Lifestyle,
to the
man.
show.
Man,
You
glad
had a
to be here,
fantastic
y'all.
intro.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. All right, the title of the show today is Hip Hop Revolution, and let's get this party started. I'm sure people are eager to hear from you.
Right.
So let me ask you, how is hip hop revolutionary?
Hip hop is revolutionary. Um, it's been a revolutionary tool since the beginning, but the very nature of hip hop is revolutionary because it goes against everything that we've been taught about music and expression. I mean, the fact that we turned the turntable into an instrument. The fact that we took recordings, that other people made, and we turned them into something new. The fact that we were rhyming instead of singing. So just the very nature of how it's created kind of goes against a lot of the things that came before it, even though it's influenced by everything that came before it.
Oh yeah.
It's just the way that it's utilized. Its origins are definitely revolutionary.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like the way you use that word revolution, because with this hip hop revolution, brought to you as an MC, a producer, a hip hop historian, and activist. Over the years, I know you produced many 12-inch singles for independent labels such as Sundu Recordings and the NY, F5 Records in St. Louis, and as well as continually hustling with your own tracks. So the word revolution really does make sense because you're putting that social relevance intertwined with the hip hop. So it's not just being the dumb intrigued by the drum, but it's actually music with a message. And as the great forefather Chuck D once said, I don't rhyme for the sake of riddling. So much props to you, brother, for keeping it conscious.
Appreciate that, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Much appreciated.
So we know that you released an album in 2020. It's called Where Am I with Canadas. I'm sorry, Where Am I at?
Where I'm at.
Where am I at? Yeah, big shout out to Canadas.
Yes, sir, my brother.
We would like to play something off of that.
Play that joint.
If you don't mind, I'd like to play Arts and Crafts so that people can kind of get an understanding of who you are. Is that okay?
Oh, that would be awesome.
All right, let's
Arts and Crafts. Let's spin it.
Crafts, let's go.
Here's a little bit of arts and crafts. So fine, blow minds, rip hearts in half. Shine a brightest light on the darkest past. Everything for the art like it's all I have. The L is lowercase, still after the capital. After rapping to a packed house, I happen to find satisfaction. I love Tony Braxton and Whoopi, Tracy Chapman, Queen Cookie, Empire inspired rookies. Aesthetics though, PDA my DNA. I love my genetic code, real or hypothetical. Try to keep it ethical. Trash receptacle rap don't serve me, I let it go. Good place, not heaven or hell. It took place in a hood space. Black power from the bookcase. Shook fake crooks, no halfway peace prodigy. I'm a blaze of pathway, only some can follow me.
Boom bap, boom bap, original rap, man. That's hot, dog. What's some of your main influences, bro? Who influenced you?
Oh man, I'm a big fan of Public Enemy.
Right.
Of course, Run DMC, Rakim, Boogie Down Productions,
Down.
Ice-T, NWA.
That's right.
All the way up to like
all the greats,
Wu-Tang Clan and Nas, Redman. I
listen Squad.
All of that. I mean, being in the Midwest, we got to hear everything, man. So I just, I try to take in as much as I could when I was younger, man. And still, I try to keep up,
Man, I can hear it all in that track, man. It gave me that vibe of the old golden era in the 90s, man, when people was talking about something, man. That's dope.
Right. You're a veteran and a pioneer of music scene here in St. Louis. How have you seen our music scene evolve?
Well, I've been fortunate. I'm one of the organizers of the St. Louis Underground Music Festival, aka Slum Fest. Last year was supposed to be our 10-year anniversary, but we're gonna have to postpone it and do something this year, I guess. But I've been fortunate to watch the scene, as a fan and a participant. And as y'all know, man, it's just a hotbed of talent.
Absolutely.
But, more recently, seeing some of the younger acts, I guess, seeing some of the trends that are reflective of the larger music community, seeing that here, some different styles, maybe styles that we weren't doing when we were coming up, but just seeing the St. Louis twist on that, you
Right.
know, and just seeing, you know, different incarnations of the music over the years, you know, and
Yeah.
that keeps it fun, man. It allows you to still be a fan and to be able to just, you know, watch some of these young men and women come up and do what they
Agreed.
do, man.
Agreed, man. Because it's like you got to have diversity, man. Like you said, we are a melting pot. You know, in St. Louis, in the Midwest in general, we can have any sound, man. So it's no
Oh yeah.
one thing, you know, one vibe that really defines us.
Right,
But
right.
what else do you have in the works? You know, as far as your career, you know, musically, what else besides this album you got out?
Well, me and Kanadis, we're working on another project,
Okay.
actually right now, and we just kind of put the first steps into that as far as some of the concepts and ideas. It's going to kind of be a tribute to a lot of the things that kind of influenced us as artists,
Dope. Dope.
and you know, as far as music, and I have another project actually that I'm going to put out any day now. I'm just waiting on the
Okay.
artwork actually,
Right.
and it's really a collection of older songs, you know, that I never really put on the streaming platforms, and
Right.
a new single that we made and we kind of just threw out to the DJs exclusively back when
Yeah.
Where I'm At came out. It was a song called Peace. And we just sent
Right.
that to DJs because I come from a time when you would send those promotional songs
Yeah, buddy.
to the
Me too.
DJs, you know. So I'm gonna put that on there with a few older things that are really dope, but
Yes,
I just
sir.
never sent them to the platform. So that'll probably be out in a few days. But me
That's
and
dope.
Kenadis are working on another project that's going to be a little bit more conceptual. And you know, Ken
Uh-huh.
is a mastermind. The best producer I know. You know,
Yeah, the
he's a
kid's dope.
mastermind with the music for
Yeah,
sure.
he's totally dope,
Most definitely.
man.
He really is a wonderful
Totally
producer.
dope producer,
So
man.
tell us, just I know where I can find your music, but tell the viewers that are watching
Right.
where we can find the latest album, Where
Arts
I'm
and
At,
crafts,
as well as some of the
lifestyle.
other music that you've got out. Where can we find it?
Where I'm at, and from which I came on my two most recent projects from 2019 and 2020, both group efforts with me and Kanadis. I mean, Kanadis did all the music, you know, and I did all of the words and whatnot. And it's on all the major platforms: Apple, Spotify, uh, all the major platforms. I would say if you follow me on any social media, you can always hit me up there, but it's available wherever good music is streamed. Whatever your platform is, however you listen to music on your phone, my music is there. You know,
Right
so
on, right on.
Yeah, that's how you do that.
That's right.
Man, you've expressed the opinion that the hip hop genre in general has been misrepresented in the media and in pop culture. How and why?
oh yeah, definitely. Well, as far as how, I think again, going back from when we had magazines like The Source and Double XL and stuff like that.
Rap sheet.
Up
Yeah.
rap, yeah. Rap pages, rap sheet,
Pages.
all of
Yeah.
that.
Murdered all right.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
West Coast stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Like those were fairly reliable sources because a lot of those people were really immersed in the culture, and that was a good time, you know, for insiders. You can kind of get a perspective from people who at the very least cared about the culture. But I think historically, if you look at publications outside of that back then, and even if we look at the digital age, you know, hip hop kind of became a scapegoat, and it would be misrepresented and misused. People would take any negative thing that they saw in the so-called inner city and be like, you know, is this hip hop? Is hip hop culture sagging
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
gang banging or
Yeah.
anything negative? They would just
Right.
they would use
Even
hip
though
hop.
it came first.
Yeah. They were when they didn't feel comfortable saying black people, which would also not necessarily be true, but they would just say hip hop, you know, and they would toss it around. And now hip hop, it gets applied to anything that people want to sell, you know, whether it has anything to do with hip hop culture or music or not. these
But
TV
yeah,
shows, it's
so
crazy.
it's basically being weaponized and exploiting the very group of people that kind of spawned the culture into existence. You know,
100%.
and why do you think that is? We know how they're doing it, but what's the end game of misrepresenting hip hop in the mainstream?
Well, I think anything in Western society that can be exploited
Hmm.
will be exploited. And
Mm.
if you look at Black people,
Hmm.
um, everything we've contributed to society, you know,
Hmm.
has been exploited.
Right.
And so it becomes a convenient thing when you have people who, by and large, are trying every day to rise up, get out of poverty, to find a better way within the systems that we live under.
Mm.
So, sometimes opportunities will be presented to us by those with the capital. And ultimately, it's for the rich to get richer and for
Right.
us to get exploited, even if a few of us get a little bit of something out of it.
Right.
So, as far as the why, it's because Black people are the foundation of everything in this country. The wealth of this
Right.
country is built
Right.
on Black people. So everything we do is going to be exploited, as much as possible until or unless we do something about it. You
Man, that's
know,
key. That's key what you said, man, because even though everything is basically off the backs of blacks, we actually as a group of people own less than 1/2% of this country's wealth.
right?
So there's some real disparities and disproportionate, economics going on. And you're right. I believe that too to be true. Capitalism is at the root of a lot of it. And I think that we as hip hoppers got to learn to take back our culture and learn how to monetize ourselves and be capitalists in this country we living in today, man.
And speaking about taking back our culture, what is your thoughts about the cancel culture and the influence it has on
Right.
society today?
Um, well, as far as cancel culture, I like I like the fact that social media gives people the opportunity to critique certain things, that it
Mhm.
allows the voices of people who might otherwise be unheard to be heard.
Mhm.
Like, I like that. I'm not really, I don't really like the idea of canceling people, in the sense of saying, well, this person said or did something offensive and now they shouldn't work anymore, or
Right.
their their show or whatever should be canceled. Especially as an artist, I think that ultimately you have to leave those decisions up to the consumers. There,
Yeah.
there are plenty of things that I don't like,
Hmm.
in music and comedy or whatever the case may be, and I'll definitely critique it, but I
Yeah.
would never stop somebody else from checking something out just because I don't like it. You know what I
Man,
mean?
hell
Like,
yeah.
each person has that choice to make themselves.
Right. Because actually we encroaching upon people's freedom of speech and their rights to even hear, some real music, man. We're gonna head to a big censorship bonanza in a minute if we
Yeah,
keep this up. But
yeah,
to keep it on topic though, brother, you're a frequent music collaborator, Nato Khalif, who has run for
yes, sir.
public office, man. Have you ever thought about entering, the arena for political, endeavors?
Peace to the God, Nato Khalif.
That's right.
I know.
No, uh, I think American politics is so filthy, and it's like it's
Ditto.
so corrupt that there are some people who are able to be effective in those spaces, and I think that that's cool. But I think I would probably be best to advise and assist, those of us who are maybe able to make it behind enemy lines or whatever,
Right.
but I don't think I could even get in the door. you know,
Man, that's
I don't
real,
think I
man.
could do it.
Sometimes we a little too grassroots to get in those doors, because there are cliques in society, in
Oh
click,
yeah.
out clicks, and no
Right.
clicks,
For sure.
and you stated that the system of white supremacy must be destroyed. But what can we as regular human beings and citizens here do to realize that goal?
I think on a very basic level, the thing, like what we're doing now, is just having a conversation, because it starts in your house. The first government that you experience and that you deal with is actually your household, So once we start to, I guess, decolonize the way that we think about certain things, it starts in the house. It starts with you, your partner, your children, and then we expand that out into the larger community. And really, a lot of it is just identifying the things in society that are harmful or exploitive to us, and once we understand those kinds of things, it'll be reflected in the art, it'll be reflected in the music, it'll be reflected in the way we conduct ourselves. But sometimes we get so caught up in the daily, just trying to survive,
Right.
that we don't necessarily stop and think about, everything that we may be doing. But it starts with simple conversations, and it starts in our community, not just with the so-called conscious folks. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because the revolution, the revolution is going to happen when your average everyday person that doesn't necessarily consider themselves conscious just
Right.
realizes the circumstances that they're under, and they start to fight.
That's real.
That's really the revolution.
So true.
I like
well,
that.
Well, let's tell us about your work with Wartimes and boycott.org, as well as pop culture. How and why have you started doing those projects?
Oh, for sure. Well, Wartime is a publication that's put out via an organization called Black Men Build. And my brother Tef Poe plugged me into that publication, asked me to write a piece last fall about street violence and its connection to homeland security. And then I wrote a piece more recently about colorism. And it's a free publication put out by Black Men Build, which is a nationwide organization that's basically about waking up the community, to, the way that these systems work, and hands-on things, like providing diapers for babies and school supplies,
Yes.
and things that the community needs. So
amen to that.
For anybody watching, you can check out the Black Men Build page on Facebook or Instagram. St. Louis folks, Corey Black, the great Corey Black, is in charge of the St. Louis chapter. And also, you hit me up on social media, I'll point you in the right direction. And that's for anybody anywhere in the country. The Boycott Times is a similar endeavor. That's also something that Tef plugged me into. And it's a platform that speaks on, the struggle worldwide, the struggle of Black people, the struggle of colonized people of color worldwide. And it gives an honest perspective that's not connected to, the popular media, which is kind of bought and sold by these corporations. And I did a piece for them about neoliberalism back in January, and I did something on Malcolm X this past March. And both of those publications, I've been writing off and on for years, but the work that I've been doing for them, is something that I'm very proud of, not just because of what I'm doing, but because I'm amongst other, writers who are really trying to say some important things, So
man,
yeah,
we
I'm
proud of you too, bro. We proud of you too, man. It does not go unnoticed.
Yes,
Much appreciated.
Yes, sir. But is there anything, before we get up out of here, that you want to share with our viewers?
Yeah.
I would say really check this podcast out as often as you can, because I think y'all are great.
Thank you.
And I think these conversations are important. And not just the conversation we're having tonight, but just conversations in general, that are about uplifting the people, educating the people. Where I'm at is out, and it's all over the place. Please check it out. All purchases go to a great cause, which is me. Follow me on social media. If you dig anything about this conversation, I'm trying to have these conversations as often as possible. I'm trying to write. I'm trying to work on more music. I'm an A for Altered St8s, and I'm here. So let's continue these conversations. Let's continue to build. Check out Black Men Build, blackmen.build. Check out Boycott Times.
Definitely.
The website is boycottx.org. Check that out. And again, go to my page for any links to any of this. And I really appreciate this, y'all.
Man, no doubt. We appreciate you more, Lyfestile, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us today. And to our viewers out there, please be sure to tune in on Tuesday, August the 10th, for our small business spotlight. You know what we do, B.O.B., Black-owned businesses, with 1587 Wines owner, Wakenya Griffith. We go live at 6:30 p.m. at Central Time.
That's right. And we thank you, Lyfestile. We'd love to have you come back on and talk more. And I apologize for our technical difficulties earlier for those who have been watching and hanging out with us. Thank you for the people that are actually in the room. I'm shouting out all four of you.
Big shout out.
Thank you.
doubt.
And also check out our audio versions of the podcast. You can find it on our Patreon page at patreon.com/Did We Make Ourselves Clear. This is a way you can show support for what we're doing. And remember to subscribe and turn on your notifications for our Facebook and our YouTube channels.
That's right. Thumbs up, y'all.
Right.
And I know the Lord ain't brought us this far just to drop us off here. Did we make ourselves clear?
Thank you. Good night,
Peace to the
y'all.
gods.
Peace.